So, as you all know, Jake Paul versus Ben Askren is going down, and as of the time I make this, in about 24 hours time. The card starts in about 24 hours time. And this is actually quite interesting, and I understand that I've seen a lot of MMA fighters particularly talk about how they're not going to watch the fight, and I'm sure box fans are the same way. I actually haven't really seen many boxers say anything on the matter, but I think this fight is very interesting, and I'll tell you why. I think it's very interesting because of the fact that Jake Paul has been training for about 3 years ish. Yeah, a little bit more than 3 years, I would say. Ben Askren has obviously trained in some boxing in some form during his MMA career. He just never trained to actually box. He trained for boxing inside MMA, and that's a totally different thing than training for boxing for boxing. Now, what I will say is, if you look at the footage between Jake Paul and Ben Askren, it is pretty clear that Jake Paul is the better puncher. Let's just say that right off the get-go. Nobody's disputing that. Okay. However, Ben Askren has more experience when it comes to having punches thrown at him. We haven't really seen Jake Paul get hit flush on the chin and see how he reacts in that kind of situation. Is he gonna get all nervous, get all jittery? And there was a former UFC fighter, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he was saying that he went and sparred with Jake Paul, and he said that Jake Paul is not a real fighter. You know, he went to the body a lot, he gassed him out. He has a lot of the skills, but at heart, he's not a real fighter. There's also the fact that if you look at Jake Paul's very first fight, his amateur fight, his one and only amateur fight, he doesn't seem to have the best cardio. You notice as the fight goes on, he definitely starts to fatigue a little bit. And that is not a good sign when you're going to fight Ben Askren. Because he's going to come forward on him and just keep coming forward. He's not going to stop coming forward. And we have seen Jake Paul get pressured. When he gets pressured heavily, he throws a lot of looping punches. He ducks his head really low. And that's not a good idea coming into a fight with Ben Askren, considering the fact that Ben Askren likes to duck a lot when punches are thrown at him. So for when it comes to those looping hooks, those looping overhands, Ben Askren ducking is going to get him out of the way with ease, and he's probably going to look to resort to the clinch a lot. And now maybe this is just speculation, and well, he is a wrestler, that's why we say this, so maybe it's not just speculation. Maybe he goes in there and puts on a really good boxing performance. But from some of the footage that I've seen, I don't see that happening. I think he's going to come in, I think he's going to clinch on him a lot, and he's going to try to wear out Jake Paul, and I think that is his best key to victory. Now, that being said, Jake Paul does have a killer instinct. Both of his fights have come by way of knockout, like both of his professional fights, and his one amateur fight came by way of KO as well. So, Jake Paul definitely has a killer instinct, and he definitely does have power. But is it going to be enough to put away Ben Askren? And honestly, I don't think so. Now, I know people are going to revert to the Jorge Masvidal flying knee KO. Everybody has seen it at this point. I think that anybody would have been knocked out by that flying knee. Anybody, I don't care who you are. Especially when you duck your head right into the knee, that is just lights out, game over. And another thing that's going really well in terms of if you're cheering for Ben Askren, he has fought some really good strikers in mixed martial arts. And I understand that for the most part it got negated due to Ben's wrestling. But Ben has stood up for even brief moments against people who are better strikers, better boxers, better pretty much striker all around, I guess, than Jake Paul. Ben does not cower away when punches are thrown at him. And I think that's not going to be good when Jake Paul is constantly hitting Ben in the face, and Ben's not going anywhere. He is not cowering away. He's going to keep coming forward on you, keep pressuring you, keep you in that clinch, wear on you. And I think that is going to play in Jake Paul's mind as well, and that's going to accelerate the fatiguing factor. If Jake Paul's going to win this fight, I say after round 3 or 4, that is when Ben Askren's really going to start to take over this fight. And Ben Askren knows he's not like a one-punch knockout artist, and that's going to play in his favor in terms of the cardio. Ben Askren has also come out and predicted a 7th round TKO, and that is a very, very likely possibility in this fight. So when it comes to my official prediction, I am going to go with Ben Askren, and I'm going to say either by a 7th or 8th round TKO, like Ben was saying, or by decision. The likeness, and I understand that Jake Paul is the betting favorite. I just don't think he's going to be able to knock him out. I just don't see it happening. They're actually about the same size as well. This is the first opponent Jake Paul has fought that is the same size as him. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. So that's pretty much it for this prediction video. If you'd like to see more prediction videos in the future, leave a thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.